Trigger warning. Death and Friends is not a podcast for the light of heart. Many dark and serious subjects will come up. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, Nash. Hey, bud.
Hey. Quick question for you.
Sure. Go for it. Yeah.
What do you want to be going on with your corpse in, say, 100 years?
What?
I'm just curious.
Jesus
I'm just
Christ,
curious.
Nash. Why are you?
I'm writing my will.
Okay. Why are you making plans for your 100-year-old corpse?
There are just some things I don't think I'd like. That's all.
Okay. Well, first of all, that's implying your corpse will even last 100 years. You'll barely last another year. And second, you'll be dead, right? Like, you get that part?
Well, yeah, of course. But I wouldn't want my body hanging out outside with a bunch of chemicals in it, you know? I'm not interested in the Frankenstein's monster corp tactics.
What's happening, buddy? Huh? Talk to me. What's going on?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What? Nash, this doesn't happen to anyone. No one is doing this. Okay, all right. Dom, what's with the music? Did we already do an episode on Frankenstein's monsters? I remember, I wrote it.
Not the real one.
Real one?
All right, here we go. Death comes for us all. You might as well make it your friend. Your friend. With us on Death and Friends.
Welcome back, Skeleton Army. It's your boy Angel. Hey, how you doing? What's up? And this is Nash.
Only temporarily.
Okay, all right. Okay, bud.
This exchange is going to be so much more funny when I'm no longer Nash.
I don't think that's what that will be. I just don't. That's
Well,
you know what? Before you could say anything else, paint the picture. You fucking ghoul.
Sure thing, friendo. Finger guns. Today, we're talking about our good buddy, Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov.
Who?
Lenin.
All right. Wait. John Lennon?
No.
Oh.
No, think more Russia.
Comrade John Lennon?
You're so close.
Oh, right. Wait. Lenin.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wait. Lenin's not even his real name?
Nope. He actually tries a whole bunch of other pseudonyms before deciding on Lenin, which he sometimes uses as N. Lenin.
Oh, no.
The N, the N stands for nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
He adopts Lenin in 1902 permanently.
So, he has a fucking stage name? Like a fucking magician? What is he, a piece of shit?
Yeah, I don't know anybody that has a stage
Who would get a stage name? Who would do that?
Can you imagine having a stage?
Stage name.
Mm-hmm. So this episode is about Lenin, but more specifically, it's about his death. Partially because this is a death podcast, and partially because he was born in 1870, so he sort of has to be dead by now, I think, just biologically.
Big if true.
But mostly, it's about him because of what happens to him after he dies.
So, a few things you need to know about Lenin's life.
The time when he was inhabiting his body.
Okay, thank you for the absolutely useless clarification. Anyway, Lenin is born in April 1870.
And thus begins his being alive part.
Oh, we're still on that. Okay, thanks. Lenin is the third of 8 kids.
8?
8 kids.
8?
8 kids.
8.
He is close with his older brother, Alexander, whom the family calls Sasha. We love that for him.
Tracks.
His family is pretty solidly upper middle class, you know, because he's Conan O'Brien. No, his dad becomes the director of public schools in their province after being a teacher for, hang on, the mathematical term used here in the script is a bunch of years.
Just a bunch of them.
Just a whole
fucking bunch of them.
Just like their kids, just a bunch of them.
Just
His dad's family had been, hang on, let me just, pretty poor. It's pretty poor. So like, honestly, what a rice. Good for him, honestly.
yeah.
8 kids, money. Let's go, baby.
Mm.
Let's fucking go.
Lenin's dad marries his mum Maria in 1863, and she's from a wealthy family.
Rich bastards. But also, you want to know something crazy, Nash?
What? What's crazy?
We actually got some old ancient recordings of Lenin in his
What?
younger years.
Oh my god, that's
Yeah.
so cool. Can you play them for the podcast?
Yeah, I got you. Let me just put this wax cylinder in.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
He was 13 years old.
Yeah, okay. Wow. All right.
It's his mommy and daddy song
Oh,
in English. It's weird.
weird.
All right, I'm pressing play. She was a girl. He was a boy. Can I make him more communist?
Lenin's dad dies of a brain hemorrhage in 1886 when Lenin is 15. Teenage Vladimir struggles with the loss and denounces his belief in God, despite his father being a very religious member of the Russian Orthodox faith.
Wow, what a teenage boy thing to do.
Yeah.
I hate you, God. Funny enough, we have even more
Oh
recordings.
my god.
I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. Wow.
Whoa. He was a real revolutionary.
Around the same time, Lenin's brother Sasha is at college hanging out with his buds, drinking some vodka, and guess what? Being a revolutionary.
What?
He and some friends are understandably against the absolute monarchy. Yeah, see what I did there? The absolute monarchy of Tsar Alexander III. And they plan to make and detonate a bomb to assassinate him. Just casually after English Lit 101. Just bro things you do in college. Chug some beers, play some beer pong,
Assassinate
bomb and
a president.
assassinate
Yeah.
the Tsar Alexander III. Yeah.
Saturdays are for the boys, They get caught before they can put the plan into place, and Sasha gets hanged for treason in May 1887. This makes Lenin pretty bummed out, but it does radicalize him. Well, more than he already was.
Hang on, we have one last recording
Whoa.
of teenage Lenin. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot breathe. I cannot dream tonight.
Wow, puberty really changed his voice.
He really did.
He really
Wow.
came up a bit.
He sounds like he's from like Southwest California.
It's really weird.
Crazy. I know.
Really weird.
Lenin gets to college and immediately joins a frat called the Zemlya Chesva. He, with fellow group members, did a little bit protest
baby protest.
Against the university, and he's immediately expelled. Okay, maybe it wasn't so little. And also he gets exiled to his house, because that's a big thing in Russia at the time.
You're grounded from the government. In his parents' basement, he does a little light reading to pass the time because this was before the internet existed. One of the books he finds is Kapital, Karl Marx's handbook about how capitalism sucks buttholes.
Mm-hmm.
Technical term.
Yeah, because he couldn't just find porn involving sucking of buttholes.
Yeah,
so he had to,
that's true.
Yeah, Pornhub was very different back in the day. Now, we don't have time to really delve deeply into Lenin's political life because Nash wouldn't let me. It's long and full of revolutions and exiles. Basically, here's the broad strokes. Me. Lenin becomes a Marxist. He fights to overthrow Tsarism. In 1903, he starts the Bolsheviks, which split off to follow him to the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party after the 1917 February Revolution.
They have so many revolutions and civil wars during this time, they start to just name them based on the month.
2020, can't relate to that at all.
Look at another episode with no modern parallels.
Anyway, after the 1917 revolution, Lenin is basically front and center for every major Russian conflict, and also a little witty bit of scuffle called World War I. At the time, it was just called
World War.
the Great War, some bullshit. He is sometimes a good guy redistributing land to the peasantry and generally being a dude of the people, and sometimes, in the case of the Red Terror, a not so good guy who put some opposition folks in the concentration camps or just had them executed for basically the same things that he and his friends did in the revolution in 1905.
So that's Lenin's political life. But this episode isn't about his life, it's about his body. No, not like that.
You wrote it. Just saying.
And so let's chat for a little bit about how he dies, because that part is important. He starts to fall ill in 1921, and in July he heads to his family home called Gorky to recover. He contemplates suicide while out there, convinced his end is near, and he asks his good friend Stalin to fetch him cyanide while he's at the store next time. Only if you can, if you remember. No worries if not.
Unfortunately, he did not have a recording device at the time, so we do not have tapes of that time. Though, he's a big fan of REM, probably.
Yeah, I believe it.
A 1918 assassination attempt leaves bullets in his body. You know, like bullets do. And in April 1922, he has surgery to remove them because, quite frankly, kind of feeling like shit.
Yeah.
Just not a good time. And the doctors are like, yeah, it's probably the bullets inside you fucking dingus. The fuck's wrong with you, man? They were quickly exiled after. But it would explain the symptoms he had was of constant headaches, insomnia, and hypercusis, which is hypersensitivity to sounds. It explains why he didn't have his pop-punk records.
That's true. So Lenin suffers his first stroke in May of 1922.
Oh, so it wasn't the bullets. The doctors were wrong. All right.
Those doctors were basically the WebMD of people.
That's what happens when you exile all the good doctors.
Yeah. Do you have bullets inside you? That's their number one question.
A lesson also learned by Stalin later on. Don't worry about that part.
The stroke leaves him unable to speak and paralyzes his right side. So he returns to Gorky and is largely better by July. So he returns again to Moscow in October 1922 to get some work done.
Yeah, baby, let's fucking go!
In December, he has a second stroke.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So, in December of 1922, he returns again to Gorky, where he begins planning for his eventual death as the head of state. He makes a series of documents, no recording, sadly, outlining his recommendations. One of them is this little bitty detail that he wanted to make sure everybody knew, and it was removing Stalin from office, considering him a ill-suited and too crude, because I guess he was a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. No recorded anything else of that he was a jerk?
Nope.
That he kind of sucked? No? None?
None.
So we just gotta trust this guy's opinion?
Yeah, I guess.
In the documents, he continues, and this defect, which is entirely acceptable in our milieu and in relationships among the communists, becomes unacceptable in the position of General Secretary, and therefore propose to comrades that they should devise a means on removing him from his job. Wow, what a voice.
His voice has really changed a lot over the years.
Oh, well, he had strokes, you know?
That's fair. Is that ominous music I hear?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about it, but it's
because
scary.
while Lenin is ill, guess who's like, oh man, is this a power vacuum or are you happy to see me?
Stop with the saxophones.
Is that a mustache that I hear in the background? You guessed it. It's our good buddy Joseph Daddy Stalin.
Jesus Christ.
If you don't want to believe me on that because you've Googled photos of young Joseph Stalin, you're like, how could anyone that good looking and fashionable be evil? Well, here's post-stroke number 2, Vladimir Lenin on it.
I haven't died yet, but under Stalin's supervision, they're already trying to bury me, so...
Sucks.
Dick.
Oh, buddy. If only it was true that they wanted to bury you. You're about to have an absolute bummer of a time.
I just love the idea of Lenin's like, hey, yeah, I'm still here. I'm not dead yet, you assholes.
It's like the scene in Monty Python where they're like, bring out your dead. And he's like, I'm not dead.
Bring him out anyway.
Pretty much.
In 1923, Lenin and Stalin fight about, lots of things. Dinner. What they're going to get later, kind of desserts, Namely, whether to force the neighboring nations under the Russian government. Stalin says, yeah, I think we should. Yeah. But Lenin says,
hey, what if we ask first, maybe? I don't know. Some of these people seem nice. Just ask them.
It is eventually agreed that the other nations could keep their governments, and so the USSR is ratified in December 1923. And even though he's not, super healthy, Lenin is elected the leader. With Stalin is Stalin, basically twirling his evil mustache right over his shoulder. You know what's weird? Lenin, we do have a recording of his first speech.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I do.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Okay.
I don't like this.
It's easy if you try.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No hell below us,
Pretty soon for you.
above us, only sky.
How long is this?
It says here he immediately collapsed and shit himself.
Oh. Lenin has his third and final stroke in March 1923, and he's essentially removed from public life. He has no independence and he can't really speak at this stage. And if you thought that that might tank his public image, you have not met Russian propaganda, my guy.
And good for you, kid.
Hey!
I mean, you're dealing with an American one, so, you know.
This,
That's the thing.
that's fair. That's fair.
American runs on dunks.
It's Duncan's kid. The donuts. Enter our hero, Leninism, which Russian media and political groups start a few months after Lenin's third stroke. You have to pledge your allegiance to Lenin and Leninism, and even though many Russians know he's sick, his non-appearance but constant presence in the media give him sort of this godlike status.
And that just has to go straight up Stalin's ass, just up in there. Just. Okay, hang on. Almost there. Okay, just breathe. And we're in. Okay. All right, good. Okay. All right, here we go.
I'm pretty sure that's how his mustache gets so big. It's not secrets, it's stomach acid that just gets pushed up.
Because Lenin isn't doing much talking, all of his advisors are doing it for him and keeping him out of the public eye. So they control what the public knows about him and when they know it, and they define and reproduce his ideology as a collective. He gets reduced to Leninism and is basically, at this stage, immortal.
But then he dies on January 21st, 1924.
That'll do it.
For just under a week after Lenin's death and after his autopsy, his body lay in state in Moscow for people to just, like, visit, I guess? Like, hey.
Visit? Literally just visit.
Just, hey, bud, heard about you being dead. Sorry?
Hey, Lenin, you K? You K in there?
He's just sleeping, buddy. He's just sleeping.
Starts poking him with a stick. Hey, wake up. Where are his glasses? He can't see without his glasses.
Aw.
Oh, that got sad. He's actually dead and shit, and we're like, no, now it's sad because we ruined the movie.
We're not okay.
No. On January 27th, everyone is like, okay, I guess we should bury him now. And apparently by bury him, they mean move slightly down the street to a mausoleum so more people could look at him while they wait for the official burying place to be finished.
Let it be known that I do not wish to ever be perceived in life or death. Thank you for your time.
Feel better?
Yeah.
He stays there until March-ish because it is unseasonably cold, and the guy who comes to check in on him...
There's a guy for that?
Yeah, there's actually like a few of them. It's a few guys for that. But the guy that stops in for the quick corpse check in late March is like, hey team, we should start doing the thing. And then they're like, what thing? What thing? And he's all like, he's decomposing. He's decomposing. You know, the only thing that dead bodies do. Come on, Brad.
Come on.
Jesus Christ.
Get your head in the game.
Yeah, Brad, you suck.
But in the 2 months it took for Lenin to be dead and also outside, the Russian state was like, okay, we should probably bury him.
Right?
But also, hear me out. What if we didn't?
What?
What if we just left him there, like as a symbol?
Of like decay?
God, Brad, keep up. A symbol of Leninism. If he never decomposes, Russia is strong.
Okay, but like, he's dead.
I know he's a dead body, Brad. I know that. I can smell him. But we have Soviet science on our side.
Okay, I hear you. But like he's
Jesus Christ, I have to do everything around here. We fill him to the brim with chemicals and replace the bits of him that don't look like the bits of him when he was alive.
And no one else is opposed to this? No one else.
Oh, no. Plenty of people are. Like, there's a whole commission designed to plan what's going to happen with Lenin, and most of them are like, no thanks. That seems a little, I don't know, religious. And also, we could just have like a public tomb monument and not have his body in it. You know what I mean?
Okay. How?
They definitely want to extend the time his body is displayed. So they're forced to be like, okay, how do we keep him out here temporarily? Just for a little while longer. They suggest freezing, but then once he thaws, he's going to be like, super gross, dude.
Well, if you unfreeze a dead dude, you immediately turn into charcoal. Like literally, you turn completely black. Like, just black as night.
You're not burned, but
you die. Like, ultimate tan. So if you ever wanted a tan, freeze up. It's a fun fact for you.
I don't know where to file that one. One of the other suggestions on the table, probably by Brad, is to put Lenin in a big glass box and fill that glass box to the brim with clear embalming fluid, like a dead body version of those 2000 Wonder World aquariums with like the gel, and you shoved the fish in, it was like Jell-O.
Another Nash throwback that literally no one will understand.
How does no one remember those? They were like a part of my childhood. Oh.
Hold.
Yeah. That was many millennia ago.
Nash is...
At the end of March, with the commission having zero idea what they want to do about Lenin's body, but probably pretty aware that he'd hate whatever they do, they accept medical professor Vladimir Vorobyev's approach.
Dr. Vorobyev, if that is his real name, is like, hey guys, what if we just like embalm him? And suddenly the entire room is like, come on, the answer was right in front of us.
Come on.
It works on the body for like 4 months with his biochem bestie, Boris Zarbsky.
Are these real names?
Yes, Nash. Other cultures exist besides non-specific white people.
I only meant that they sound like James Bond villains.
Okay, racist. Anyway, in July 1924, the commission's like, hey, Vlad, Boris, fellas, how you doing? Hey, how's it going? Hey. So how's it going with, the body, Lenin's body, the body specifically made for Lenin? How's that going? And Vlad is like, pretty good, actually. It's pretty great. Look, he looks really great, doesn't he? Look, he's going to be set for a while, actually.
How long?
He said a while, Nash.
Right, but how long?
While, Nash. That's what he said.
Okay, but...
Fine. Just stop. Okay?
Okay.
Vlad? How long? I will not allow myself to answer this question. There you go. See? Now they don't just preserve him as a one-off and leave it. They devise a plan that will replace bits of him that need replacing, re-embalm him whenever necessary, make new bits, and occasionally let him take a bath in the fluid to keep it fresh.
It smells like science. Now, modern dead folks who choose embalming get their circulatory systems flushed with formalin, which is a nice little cocktail of formaldehyde and alcohol. If you sign up for that, you've got a shelf life of about 10 years.
Okay. Pretty much for that whole time, you aren't even visible because you're in a coffin. So, like, what's even the fucking point?
Yeah, basically. So the 10 years thing, obviously it wasn't going to work out for Lenin. So that whole system gets invented. Today, Lenin's preservation is overseen by the Lenin Lab, who also care for...
Go fuck yourselves with that name. I'm sorry, I was genuinely reacting to that. You can go fuck yourselves. Oh, we work for the Lenin Lab? Go fuck yourself, you pieces of shit.
They also care for...
Excuse me, I work for the Lenin Lab. You fucking marks.
Okay, but as an aside, they do really, really cool shit, and they've invented a lot of like medical procedures that were designed because of how they have to pump things through Lenin's body and like redistribute shit. It's actually really fucking fascinating.
Cool.
Anyway, back to the episode. Today, Lenin's preservation is overseen by the Lenin Lab, who also care for Ho Chi Minh and North Korean Kim Jong's, the ones that are dead. Just the dead ones, I think. They might also do the alive one's haircut.
Oh,
that preservation
a real
work.
Weekend and Bernie situation?
Yeah. That preservation work isn't so much about maintaining Lenin's biological matter, but rather his physical form. Very little of his OG bodysuit is left. Just not a lot.
Right. What's a technical explanation?
Thank you.
Just what a technical explanation. Just
You're welcome.
chef's kiss. Okay, so the year right now is 2022. What the fuck? Doesn't even sound real. In 2 years, Lenin will have been dead for an entire century now, and just on display like an action figure. Even though the dude was literally like, "Bury me, please," and his wife was like, "Bury him, please," and like 60% of modern Russia is like, "Bury him, please." Which begs the question, why are you just chilling though?
What a great but unanswerable question. Basically, it boils down to this. He's already been there, and he's a symbol of the Russian state for nearly a century, so why change things?
What do you mean, why? He doesn't want to be there. The fuck?
His own cabinet pretended to be him for like 2 years while he was recovering from a stroke. What makes you think any Russian president or Putin gives any shits at all about what Lenin would want?
I guess that's kind of fair.
Which leads to my next question. What rights did dead people have on their own corpse?
That was a long road to get to that question.
It really wasn't. Oh, I did a little research.
You don't say.
And I called a lawyer. Sorry, not you, Jen.
Why?
No, you just don't really seem that approachable?
Rude.
Okay. So, do you like dead people who have rights?
No.
Oh. So people can just kind of do whatever they want with your body?
I mean, not whatever. Your body is property now, so it can be desecrated, and that's a crime.
Okay.
But that doesn't matter that it used to be you, it's just you're a thing now. Your medical privacy ends at death. So basically, anyone could be like, hey, did they have syphilis? And the doctor will be like, oh yeah, for sure, girl, get tested.
Okay. What if you write something in your will, like, what if Lenin was like,
Hey guys, don't mummify me and leave me on display for a century.
his voice changes a lot.
Yeah, it does. Well, that's the thing. Lenin's will has never surfaced, so there's nothing legal to say, please don't revere me, just put me in the ground next to my mum, even though by lots of accounts, that's exactly what he did want. It's what his wife wanted too, but since there's no legal document...
Something tells me that the dude who wrote a bunch of the letters to be like, after I die, fire Stalin, had a will though.
Right, but it's never been found, or at least no one has admitted to finding it.
Is that? Oh my god, is that the Twilight movie?
But if you put it in your will, and it's something your family doesn't want, largely courts will defend the rights of the dead. But if somebody makes up shit about you to ruin your entire reputation, this is a callback to the Edgar Allan Poe episode, you don't have rights. And if your will never surfaces, well then the state can make you a symbol and display you forever.
Jesus Christ.
And on that note, that's the episode. A special thanks to you, our favorite listener. Remember to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. A rate and review would also be nice.
Criminy, dude. What an ending. Okay. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Gorilla Jokes.
And I'm at It's Nash Flynn.
And of course, follow the podcast at Death and Friends Podcast.
Want to become an official member of the Skeleton Army? Join us on Patreon. We use it to cover our sound guy's medical bills. In order to properly write medical facts, we expose Dom to all the illnesses and ways to die we talk about on the show.
Yep, this baby can fit so many of Bob Doms in it. The pioneers used to ride these for miles.
Still can, baby.
Speaking of Patreon, let us thank our listeners at the Brendan Fraser level.
Hey, Game Snake. What is up? So check it out at patreon.com/deathandfriends. Also, we've got a website now, deathandfriends.org. That's .org because we are committed to making the internet worse.
Alrighty, everybody. What a roller coaster of an episode. You know what else is a roller coaster? Talking about death. It's real tricky, but we need you to remember something. Ready for this? You hear about this?
No.
You're loved. You matter. And if you don't want to be your own friend, we will happily be your friend.
I'll be delighted to defend your reputation against your haters after you die, babe.
Likewise. Until next time, Skeleton Army, stay spooky. Love you.
Love you.
This has been a Knavery Inc. podcast. Go to knaveryinc.com for more details. Executive produced by Jacob Duffy Hallbleib. Audio design by Dominic Wanzon. Themes and transitions by Amy Doe.
The fuck is a knave? Remember, this is a comedy podcast? Don't use it in your research papers.